Hello, fellow readers. Marian Charles, your Popular Services Assistant, here to talk about one of the most anticipated reads of the fall. Zadie Smith, who swore she would never write a book of historical fiction, brings us The Fraud, the story of 19th century trial that gripped and divided Victorian England. Eliza Touche has spent 30 plus years running her cousin, the novelist William Ainsworth's household. She is bored, unfulfilled, and also a born skeptic. She doubts her cousin's talent, questions England's morals, and wonders if Mr. Charles Dickens, her cousin's primary writing competition, is nothing more than a bully. Now here we have a trial concerning a lower-class Australian butcher and a Jamaican slave that captivates Eliza and the rest of England. The butcher claims to be the heir to the sizable Tichborne fortune and estate, while the Jamaican serves as the butler's chief witness and supporter. Working-class England is all for our butcher, while the creme de la creme of English society are decidedly anti-butcher. This book is based on actual historical events and asks us questions of rich versus poor, truth versus fiction, while at the same time providing glimpses into Eliza's life and the complicated relationship between England and Jamaica. So if you enjoyed Longbourn by Joe Baker or The Belting Inheritance by Julia Simmons, you'll enjoy this book. Also check it out if you liked Amy Tan or 30 Umriger. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Hannah. I'm one of the Bookies, and I'm here to tell you about two very different books coming out, both on September 12th. First, we'll start with The Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vaquez Gilliland. Legend goes that long ago a Flores woman offended the old gods, and their family was cursed as a result. Now, every Flores woman is born with a touch of magic. Sage Flores has been on the run from her family and their gifts ever since her younger sister Sky died. Now, 8 years later, Sage has returned to her hometown of Cranberry, Virginia. Like slipping into an old pair of boots, Sage takes back her job at the Cranberry Rose Company and uses her ability to speak with plants to discover unusual heritage species in the surrounding areas. What should be a simple task is complicated by her partner in botany sleuthing, Tennessee Rays. He broke her heart in high school, and she never fully recovered. Working together is reminding her of all of their tender, genuine past moments, and new feelings are starting to take root in Sage's heart. But with rare plants to find, a dead sister who constantly brings her coffee, and another sister whose anger fills the sky with lightning, Sage has enough on her plate. But being with 10 is like standing in the middle of a field on the verge of a summer thunderstorm, supercharged and inevitable. This contemporary supernatural romance has the magic of love in disguise and is perfect for lovers of The Witch is Back by Sophie H. Morgan and The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vaquez Gilliland will be coming out on September 12th of this year. The second book I want to talk to you about is Mona Awad's Rouge, also coming out on September 12th of this year. From the author of Bunny and All's Well comes this gothic horror-tinged fairy tale about a lonely clerk at a dress shop and her mother's unexpected demise, which leads her down a treacherous path towards youth and beauty. Can she escape her mother's fate and find a connection that's more than just skin deep? For as long as she can remember, Belle has been insidiously obsessed with her own skin and skincare routines. When her estranged mother Noelle mysteriously passes away, Belle finds herself back in Southern California, grappling with her mother's demise. More mysterious still, a woman in red shows up offering a tantalizing clue about Noelle's death at her funeral, alongside a mysterious video about a spa experience. With a pair of red slippers in tow, Belle is lured into the barbed embrace of La Maison de Méduse, the same culty spa that her own mother was devoted to. There, Belle finds horrors upon horrors, leading to the reason why she and her mother were so obsessed with what they saw in the mirror. Eyes Wide Shut meets Snow White in this raucous horror and humorous tale. And for those who enjoyed Natural Beauty by Lingling Huang and The Glow by Jessie Gaynor, this is the book for you.
Hi, I'm Erica O'Rourke, Popular Services Supervisor and Fall Reading Fanatic. This is my favorite season for books. It's always an embarrassment of riches. It's when publishers release the titles they're most excited about, and that is especially true this year. To start, I have got to tell you about North Woods by Daniel Mason. It's coming out on September 19th, and it's the story of a house in the Massachusetts wood, told through the stories of its inhabitants across centuries, from a Puritan couple fleeing their community, to an apple-obsessed British soldier, to a modern-day true crime reporter. Each of these stories is like a tiny jewel, and each is connected to the other stories in ways both obvious and subtle. But what's really astonishing about this book is the incredible sense of place. It's a deep history of a single location, rooted in the natural world, and closely, gorgeously observed. The result is just a masterpiece, and if you like Barbara Kingsolver or George Saunders, I think this is going to be right up your alley. I'm always on the lookout for a new mystery series with a fresh setting and a compelling detective, so I have high hopes for Vanessa Lilly's Blood Sisters, which introduces Sid Walker, an archaeologist at the Bureau of Indian Affairs, who thought she'd left her traumatic Oklahoma past behind her. But when her sister's abducted and a skull is found at the exact site of the tragedy that sent her running 15 years ago, Sid realizes it's time to come home and do a different kind of digging in order to save her sister and do right by her people. The combination of a contemporary crime story paired with Cherokee history told by an indigenous author is incredibly appealing to me. And with praise from authors I adore, like William Kent Kruger and David Heska Wanbley-Wyden, I can't wait to start reading when it releases on October 31st.
Hi, my name is Becky King, and I'm one of the Adult Services Librarians. I'm excited to tell you about the new book, The Caretaker, by one of my favorite authors, Ron Rash. Few authors do Southern fiction as well as Ron Rash. His new book is set in a small Appalachian town in the 1950s. 21-year-old Jacob is the only son of the prominent Hampton family, local business owners who rule the town through fear and intimidation. Jacob's parents have his whole life planned out for him. He'll finish college, he'll marry the local beauty, and he'll take over the family businesses someday. When Jacob upsets that plan by eloping with 16-year-old uneducated Naomi, his parents promptly disinherit him and shun both Jacob and Naomi. When Jacob is drafted to serve in the Korean War soon after, he begs his parents to look after Naomi, now pregnant, while he's away. When his parents refuse, Jacob turns to his best friend since childhood for help, Blackburn Gant. Blackburn is a sensitive soul who's the caretaker of the local cemetery. Blackburn is devoted to Naomi and to ensuring that she has everything she needs while his friend is away. What follows is just a beautifully written, poignant, atmospheric love story with endearing main characters who struggle with issues that test the bonds of friendship, duty, honor, and sacrifice. Blackburn is a real hero in the very best sense, and he's a character that will stick with you for a really long time. If you like books like This Dark Road to Mercy by Wiley Cash or Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, you'll love the feel of this book also. The Caretaker, which earned starred reviews from both Kirkus and Publishers Weekly, will hit library shelves on September 26th. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.
Hello, I am Amy Becker-Perez, and this is my first Book Buzz. I am newly serving as the Book Club Associate at Cook Park Memorial Library. I am thrilled to tell you about Angie Kim's second novel, Happiness Falls, which is coming out August 29th. 20-year-old Mia does not immediately worry when her father and younger brother do not come home from a walk in a park near their Virginia home. That is, until Eugene, her 15-year-old brother who has autism and also has a genetic disorder called Angelman syndrome and is also mute, comes running through the front door, bloody and alone. With their father missing, the lives of this biracial Korean-American family are upended, and Mia, Eugene, Mia's twin brother John, and their mother must come together to try to connect, and they must communicate with one another so they can get to know their father's secrets and figure out what happened to him. Those who have read Happiness Falls say it is full of shocking twists and fascinating questions of love, language, race, and human connection. Happiness Falls is described as being as page-turning as it is thought-provoking. I was partially made aware of this book because one of my book club friends had already put a hold on it the last time that we met, and I think it will be a great book for discussing with friends. If you have enjoyed books by Celeste Ng or the book The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave, you may want to pick up Happiness Falls.
Hi, I'm Andrea Larson, Senior Manager of Adult and High School Services. I am excited to share 2 new fall releases with you today. The first one is a collection of stories called Dearborn by Ghassan Zianeddine. It published on September 5th. I've chosen it for a couple of reasons. First, because I don't often read short stories and I try to read outside my comfort zone. Second, because it's about immigrants in suburban Detroit, which is what my family was. Like the Polish-American area where my grandparents lived, Dearborn, Michigan has now become predominantly Arab American, home to the largest Muslim population in the United States per capita. These stories examine identity, race, and gender in a warm and funny way. One of the stories is called Money Chickens, and another is called Speedo Man. So with titles like that, I just have to find out what they're all about. Kirkus, the review journal, says, what Zianeddine can do with a simple storyline and a few pages is a thing of wonder. I think this is a book that's going to make me laugh and cry, and I'm there for it. My second book is Starter Villain by John Scalzi, which comes out on September 19th. It's science fiction, and if you're thinking, wait, I don't read sci-fi, hear me out for just a minute. John Scalzi is sci-fi for everyone. This book doesn't have a lot of science-y content or an outer space setting. Instead, it's about a down-on-his-luck everyman who inherits a supervillain empire from his deceased uncle. Our hero, Charlie, ends up moving into his uncle's secret island volcano lair that contains genetically modified, super intelligent cats. I mean, just look at that cover. Starter Villain is a clever, funny send-up of superhero stories. Library Journal called it snark with a heart. If you like Marvel movies, cats, or just smart, humorous, fantastical stories, give this one a try.